Back here at Canale Arena, Eli Savoy with you, now joined by head coach Mike Nienaber as his team loses tonight to Bellarmine 79-60. And, Coach, you play Bellarmine, like a team like this, you're going to have to play really well. And shots didn't fall, poor free throw shooting, and some turnovers, and that's just things you can't afford against this type of team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we did what we talked about before the game, and we had a really bad stretch to end the first half. I mean, we got down 10. We had a little bit of hit a bump in the road because the game was going back and forth. We were playing pretty well. We had a 3 or 4 point lead there at a time, and I thought overall we were playing pretty well to be 2 or 3 ahead of them. And then we just hit a bad stretch there, kind of midway first half, where they went up 10 on us. And then we fought back and got it back to 5. And it was I think it was one of the media timeouts. We had it at 5. We talked about, hey, we're right back here. We had a couple possessions. We had 3 or 4 just horrible offensive possessions when we cut it to 5. And that started the ball rolling back the other way, where the next thing you know, you look up and you're down 10. And then we had that miserable sequence to end the half where it was around a 10 or 11 point game,
possession.
And then we give them a 5-point play to end the half. So I mean, it just is like as bad as you could get. And here, so we go in, we're 16 down. It's where most of the half we felt like we were right there. Now you look up and you're 16 points down going in, and we pretty much played the rest of the game there. Yeah. We pretty much it was a 16-point game back and forth. It would go a couple, maybe they'd get it up to 20, as high as 20, and we'd cut it to 14, or I don't know, we ever got it much closer than 13 or 12, but we pretty much played the whole second half like that. And, I think, again, it was the offensive execution was bad at times. We had moving screen. A lot of the turnovers were offensive moving screens and things like that. I mean, at least a couple times, and that was during that sequence where we went down, where it went bad on us at the end of the half. We had 2 moving screens during that sequence, and both of them came out of guys not being where they were supposed to be in the offense. They were trying to correct where they were. It's just not running the offense right. And, early in the game, we got some good looks. We got some threes. We got a couple backdoor layups. We were doing things that looked, I felt pretty good about how we started out. And then, we had some stretches in the second half. They're really hard to guard, and I think it was probably a mistake. We canned the zone because we were getting confused with our matchup, and I think probably the better way to go more of the game would have been to play more of the traditional. I thought the traditional 2-3 zone was a little more effective in the second half, and it kept the game closer when we were still struggling. But then the other big point that you made already too is when you're trying to catch up and you miss free throw after free throw, and they don't miss them. It's like I told our guys that there's too many times too where we get a big basket, then we'd foul them, we just give them the points right back because they're making them. They're making, what were they, 17 for 15 for 17?
15 out of 17. You're 4 out of 14 in the second half. I mean, how
many times guys walking up missing 2?
Yeah.
Not just missing one,
and
going up missing
front
them
end
both.
1-and-1. I mean, there's a lot of points lost right there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, again, if you make some of those free throws, maybe at some point there we get the thing to single digits, and then you get a little life, you get a little more life in the building, and who knows? But we just, again, you can't come back not making free throws.
Well, and you were talking about too. In that first half, you mentioned they went on a 13-0 run, and then that's when you cut it back, and then they finished on a 12-1 run. So those 2 runs in the first half were 25-1.
Right. I
mean that's like I said, that's the game right there.
There's no doubt. And you know what? When you play a good team, people don't realize that happens a lot in basketball. I mean, when you look at games, whether you're watching Duke or Kentucky or teams like that, good teams do that, and inexperienced. I'm not going to say tonight we probably weren't we were a bit of a bad team at times, but that happens. You say, over the years, so many times after tough losses, you find yourself saying there was that one run, where things got away. And so many games, that's what it boils down to. When I don't care if it's NBA or high school or junior high, it's good teams make runs, and you just can't let that happen to you. And we obviously did tonight.
Well, now you get ready for the full conference slate. Already got one under your belt with the win at Union. You'll see them on Saturday again to kick off this conference run. So now it's time to turn it up a notch
Right.
and get ready to go. And you just got 3 straight at home here to start it too.
The last thing I told our guys, I said, because obviously we had an amazing game at Union last week, and I told our guys, I said, if any of you think this is going to be easy, just forget it, And our older guys know. I said, it's just, again, it's one of those things we got on a roll that night. We had Brad hitting those threes, and it was a close game, and then all of a sudden we're up 10, and then we made a run in the beginning of the second half. You make those kind of runs, and it usually involves hot shooting and, and again, not turning the ball over and stuff. But Union's is a proud team. They've been in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years. They've got a lot of guys on their team that were played big roles in that. They are not going to come. They're going to come in here hungry after what we did to them on their floor up there last week. So we've got to be ready, and we're in a position with these 3 home games in conference. If we take care of business at home, obviously got to do it one at a time. But we're looking at realistically, if we play well, we could be 4-0 in the conference at Christmas. And if we're there after where we were last year, and the struggles that we're having, and again with 3 freshmen playing as many minutes as they're playing, if we're there, then
yeah.
What a wonderful Christmas it'll be.
A Merry Christmas for all.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about that. Well, Coach, I won't get you in trouble by asking about that kicking violation that was called down there.
Oh, you know what? And it's crazy because those kind of plays, though. I mean, that was a situation where we made a play. It was a 3. I think
they got a 3 out of it.
We were 3 ahead. Well, we were 4 ahead because they got a 3 and cut it. We should have had the ball with a 4-point lead. Now, again, but I'd like to have seen what had happened. If we go down and get a bucket, maybe we go on a little bit of a run.
That's one of those things. Because then they hit a 3 out of it, and you're like, it's.
How do you get a kick out? I mean, that call was out of left field.
I honestly,
because he got his hand on it. Jeff got.
Yeah, I was looking at the same angle as the official. I don't know what you could have seen that would have been construed as a kick. Like his foot, like the ball was way in the air. He had to be. Yeah. He had to kick somebody in the head to kick the ball.
That was a. Again, that was one of those kind of calls, though, where you kind of feel like maybe we're getting a little momentum. We had the ball, we would have had the ball on a 4-point lead.
You had a turnover, like you had a chance to get a break,
we're going,
possibly.
Exactly, and maybe we hit a 3 then, and we're up 7 instead of it's back to 1. And again, but it's one play out of a lot that we didn't make. That one we made actually. We made a good play there, but it's just one that didn't work our way, and it's part of the game.
Well, Coach, we will see you Saturday for Union, and I'll try and keep my perfect record up against Union.
You keep that Union mojo up that you got going, and it'll be nice going because we start exams next week. So, it'd be good to go into exams and have them studying on a positive note too.
No doubt about that. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you, Eli.